corner. We have 20 weeks to get what we're calling the Plan A, which, what year Foxbody is it again?
87, I think.
It's an 87 Foxbody that we are going to try and get ready for the Powertour. The main goal behind this Foxbody is both budget friendly and something that will be enjoyable for you, the family, whoever you want to bring in the car. But overall, it's just going to be a budget build that you can follow along with. And, you know, we're going to source some parts from
It doesn't take a degree in engineering to know that your car needs regular oil and filter changes. That's why we're ready in advance with brand names you trust. Castrol, Valvoline, Pennzoil, all in stock at ready-to-go low prices. So bring it on. We're ready in advance.
For the best parts, people and price, we're ready in advance. Yeah, bring it on.
Stuff like that. We may have some extra parts laying around that you can go find for really cheap. So that's where you find like this bumper, stuff like that. But we are gonna go over the car now and kind of explain the stuff we need and the build sheet behind it.
Ready?
Yeah.
Okay, well, first of all, we're gonna try to use as many used parts as possible. We've all agreed on that. So let's just start at the beginning. Why I cheat a little bit, we had a GT bumper here, so let's take the GT bumper and use it. Just kind of going through the car, the way I see it, this car has 126,000 miles on it that we know about. The odometer is saying 26,000. We know it's been a rollover at least once. I don't see this car being a 220,000 mile car. I think it's 120,000. It's got a really tired motor. I went out there and kind of pushed that a little bit. If it's making 75 horsepower, I'd be surprised. The engine we're going to put in there is going to be probably 3 times that. So we should be okay with that. Remember, you're going to do the Powertour. So reliability is number one. Air conditioning, a safe car is in line. If you don't make the car reliable and safe, you waste your time. So let's kind of look at what I see. We can kind of walk around the car really quickly. So first thing is, it's got a brand new radiator in it, and it's for the correct motor. And a lot of the jump start you have here is you're using the same motor in the car. So all the hookups and all the stuff that normally need to be fabricated, you're not going to have to do. That's huge. So I see but the new fan, it's 120,000 miles on the fan, and I don't think the OEM fans are that great. They make a lot better fans now. In the last 30 years, they've come up with some better stuff. So we're gonna replace that with a more modern fan, and you can see where the air blows by the fan. It's not very efficient. We're gonna fix that. And let's get on the list here. New engine with all the component stuff that you know you're going to need to make the car reliable. Power steering pump, alternator, and air conditioning. Okay, this car has got stock air conditioning in it. We just checked it. There is no pressure, so that means the oil that normally is lubricated in the coolant system of the air conditioning gas is not there. So that means that I'll almost guarantee you're going to have to replace the dryer, the hoses, and the compressor for sure. And we'll see what the rest of the components look like. The front suspension, we've talked about it. We'd like to really go with a coilover. We've got some coilover solutions, and we'll kind of see how that goes. You could spend a lot of money on coilovers. We'll just see how that goes. Brakes, we all know about the brakes. We are going to convert it to a 5-lug system, which means that gets us to a lot larger rotor. When these cars were built, the wheels are very small. You can see the wheels that are on it are very small. Therefore, the rotor assembly itself is limited in diameter. If we use a different spindle, a 5-lug spindle, from a more modern Mustang, you immediately jump into a larger rotor that gives you a lot more braking potential. In the interior, it's pretty rough. You know, it's got that Millennium Disco, you know, wrapper kind of stuff going on. It's really horrible. So there again, the more stock you keep it, the better off you're going to be. I can see the guy trying to put some red pieces in here with the blue. I guess a little American flag going on there. It looks pretty dated. So my suggestion is you could spend $15,000 to $20,000 on the interior in a snap of a finger. And to do the proper interior in this car would be at least $10,000. And that's not where you want to go, not with the project set the way you want it to be. So therefore, let's put some Pro Car, I would suggest putting the Pro Car seat in there. It already comes wrapped and ready to go, or you could take these seats and recover them yourself. If you try to recover these seats yourself, that takes some doing. I mean, anybody who looks at the stuff that Rod does around here would recognize just how ornate and time-consuming that is. I would say brand new black carpeting. Let's clean the interior up as best we can. We're gonna have to dye the back seat because we've decided that you want to keep a back seat, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. A lot of guys get rid of the back seat because they want a roll cage. I don't think you need a roll cage in this car. So black seat it is. You'll wind up dyeing those seats, and all the hard plastic cover seats, hard plastic components, you'll just wrap them in vinyl. So you get to be a quasi interior guy. Back of the car looks relatively straight. You want the LED light system, and bumper covers are much to do about nothing. You're better off just buying a brand new bumper cover than trying to work that. You'll spend 5-6 hours of body time and accomplish nothing with this bumper cover. Just get a new one. Move on from that. We are going to keep everything kind of stock in the back here. What's with the red? Man, what is with that? It is what it is. Stock exhaust system. We are going to go to the 8.8 rear end. When we go to the 8-point rear end, that has another benefit. It's the 5-lug setup. So when we get the wheel of our choice, we could put any kind of wheel we want on it to modernize the wheels. The wheels are going to make the difference in this car. It kind of makes what a car looks like, if you ask me. Let's see what else. And I think that probably covers the basics for now. As far as the transmission goes, I drove the car. This car's plain damn scary. But I look at this car like I look at me. It's broken, going through some rough times, and this is how you crawl out and become a new Phoenix. So
with the transmission as well, we want something that we can actually go endurance with. We don't want something that's going to be pain or not give us any overdrive gears. So
yeah, it won't shift at all. I mean, I power shifted it, and I think it's more of a clutch problem than a transmission problem. But my suggestion is we take it's a 5-speed. Let's take the transmission out. Let's go look at what the condition of the transmission is. Okay, so the 5-speed transmissions that were put in the 4-cylinder cars have a very, very low first gear, right?
right.
So you want that with the 4-cylinder car. The V8s have a taller gear. So if you take one of these transmissions and you put a lot of horsepower behind it, it'll tear first gear out of it. But I don't think that's going to be a problem because the engine you're getting the engine we're going to build has way more horsepower than it does torque. And torque is the thing that tears transmissions apart. We're going to need a new drive shaft, of course, because we're going with 8.8 rear end. We'll try to get disc brakes on the back of the car. So, you're a young guy, so you're going to want that disgusting radio and stuff ripped out of there. And we'll get one of our radio systems in there that has Bluetooth and the backup camera and all the cool stuff. And when you start doing that, you're probably going to need the guys around here to help. But for the most part, we've got 2 complete amateur guys that are going to put this car together with supervision. And I'll supervise as much as I can. I'm going to be traveling a lot in the near future. A lot of stuff going on in my life with other work that I do. So I'll be the guidance here, but I can only go and do so much because I'm pretty stretched out right now.
And just to wrap that up, that's kind of the build sheet that we plan on doing with this car. And I mean,
tell them about our party. We have a party.
Okay, so
Let's get the party. So Tuesday night of the Powertour, when everybody leaves South Carolina, we are hosting a large gathering, band music, a real parachute team that's actually real. That will be our parachute team. We have a real parachute team. That's like some people have fake ones. We're going to parachute in. We're going to do some cool stuff, and we will be sponsoring that event.
yeah, so that's going to be a pretty cool party during the Power Tour. You'll get to see us here. You'll get to see a few of our cars. Everything that we really do. So that's the plan for this Foxbody, and we'll take
Here we go.
with me.
20 weeks. 20
weeks to get all of that done, by the way, just in case.